Hi all, it's Leatherland here. I'm just doing a quick instructional video on how to use my deal stacker. So as you can see here, this is quite a basic one compared to some of my other deal stacking spreadsheets that I use. So if you've not checked out my other spreadsheets, we've got a deal stacker on HMOs, and we've got a deal stacker also on buy-to-lets, and I'm also doing deal stackers on new builds and things like that. So this is the flipping one. When you flip a property, i.e. you buy a property, you renovate it and you sell it on. So starting off at the beginning, so you put a purchase price in here. So these are real numbers. This is a real deal that I've actually done. So purchase price 62,000, so you put that in there. If you're paying a finder's fee, you put that in there. Next is your legals. So that's your conveyancing costs, your solicitor searches, etc. Bridging finance, if you're using a bridge, basically just to quickly explain that one, you need to work out how much you're going to be borrowing if you're doing a bridge. So if you're borrowing 70% of the purchase price, for example, you need to work out what percentage you're going to be paying per month, including your entry and exit fees. So I've got 6-month bridging finance, or whatever you're borrowing, 6 months, 12 months, whatever, and you just put a percentage in there. So you got to calculate this one yourself. So you just got to work out what the percentage is, how much you're borrowing, and put that into this box here. Next, you've got stamp duty. So again, I've said calculate this yourself. So if you go to the stamp duty calculator website, which is just linked at the bottom there, you go onto here. You just come down, additional property. I'm assuming it's an additional property, not your first one. If it is, then you just bang it in there. If it's additional, put the price in, calculate, £1,920. So that's your stamp duty. So this is your first bit. Next, you come down to renovations. So you need to work out what your renovation cost is. I've put in a few numbers here, just electrics £3,500, heating £5,000. These are just really generic numbers. Obviously, you're going to need to get a full quote from your builder and calculate it yourself. Be careful not to polish the numbers too much by, making the renovation really cheap, because you'll probably run into issues with things taking longer or whatever. So anyway, so I've put general refurb £15,000, so total £15,000. Project management, so if you've got a contractor running it for you, or if you're using a company like mine, we project manage renovations for other people. So 10% of the total is the normal project management cost. Most contractors will charge around 8 to 10%. So that's your total capital cost before you're selling the property on. So that's just effectively added all those numbers up and put them into there. So next, if you come over to this top right corner here, initial purchase capital required. So if you were doing, like I said before, if you were doing a bridging loan, then you wouldn't be putting 100% of the purchase price in. You'd be putting in a percentage. But let's assume that you're buying this one with cash, so that's 100% there. We'll take off the bridging money just because there isn't any. And so that's that. Let's assume you're doing this all cash then. Excuse me. Professional fees, so that's your legals, finder's fee and stamp all added up. Building costs, that's your renovation and project management costs added up. And then if you had any lending costs, so if you were using a bridge, then you might have entry fees, exit fees, app costs, etc. Sorry, not exit fees, ignore that. This is your initial purchase capital required. So an entry fee into the bridge or an application cost, these are all your upfront costs for doing this project. Adds it all up, so 82,606. So if you were doing this, like I said before, with a bridge, then your capital up front would only be 36,000. So what this kind of means is if you're looking at deals and you're trying to work out if they're going to be good investments or not, you can get this spreadsheet, you can stick all these numbers in sort of 60 seconds or whatever, and you can just work out how much money you're going to need up front. So you're going to need 25% of the purchase price or 30% of the purchase price. You're going to be paying for things like finder's fees, legals, potential bridging finance, exit fees for the bridge, app costs. So this kind of works out all your upfront costs that you're going to need to be able to do a project. So you're not basically stretching yourself out or spreading yourself too thin. So finally we come down to the selling bit. So selling price, this is the bit that everyone likes. So you put in the selling price, also known as a GDV, gross development value. So on this particular project it was 95k. And then you've got basically your selling fees. So don't forget you've got to pay an agent to sell the property for you. You know, they typically charge around 1 to 2%. However, a lot of people have a minimum, so they're charged 1% or a minimum of say £1,300, whatever's higher. So I'll just put it 1% anyway, just for ease of explaining this video. Legals, again, you're gonna have to pay for legals when you sell the property. And then so down here you get this nice green bit, which is this is the capital release before tax. So out of this deal, basically 11 grand in it, 11 grand profit for a flip before tax. So you know, it was a good project. Pretty much leveraged all of the work off to someone else, so I did absolutely nothing. And yeah, and finally you just got the ROI. So the ROI is just calculated on how much money you made, how much profit, divided by how much you had to spend on it, times 100 equals the percentage of 31.36% return on investment. So that's good return on your investment basically. So yeah, thanks for watching that video. Please check out our website www.pegasuspg.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I've got loads more cool videos on there like this explaining how to use all these different spreadsheets and other things as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.